Hello everybody again, it's Rachel Russell here. I just a very short video, hopefully. I do rabbit on sometimes. Anyway, apologies. So this is a new invention, a new thing that we're creating. We're calling it the Primer Puck. Now, there's a chap called David LaPoint, L-A and then point, P-O-I-N-T, David LaPoint. And he has got a YouTube channel from the things that he did a few years ago, or quite a few years ago actually now. But he created this in a vision. Anyway, we've been watching his progress over the last few years. It's fallen a bit silent in the last year or two, I think it is. But anyway, so he created this, and then what he did is he created a machine to spin it at 3,350 RPM. And that is literally to spin it and having a big magnetic field around it. Now, in order to make it like that, there's many parts to it, and you can buy these. If you go to PrimerCube.com, it will forward you to the right URL. But this is essentially for sale in, I think it's Poland, for 1,500 thereabouts. So it's very quiet, the way that they've done it, and it has incredible healing. Don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Anyway, another disclaimer, this is not healthy for your body at all. Quite the contrary, it gives you vitality. I don't know how else to put it in this crazy world. Anyway, so just more about this. So yes, you can spin it at 3,350 RPM or lower. Now I know that machine specifically has different speeds for different things. If you've just run a marathon, for example, so you might want to have it on full speed at the highest RPM throughout the whole night. If you're just doing it for general maintenance, then you'd have it on a lower speed and then speed it up before you got up. Anyway, now in the manufacturing notes, so all the information on how to build these is completely free on PrimerCube.com. And so if you go to that website, there's data transfer, there's issues fixed or issues treated, that was the word, issues treated. Now, in the manufacturing notes, it actually says you don't need to spin it in order to have the amazing benefits, I nearly said the H word there, from this. So friends have actually been trying this over the last few months, so we were keen to do a bit of research first before we showed anybody. But in terms of healing abilities, I suppose it's more pain reduction, essentially, at the moment, for many people. But there's been some really interesting feedback from my friend. I will play it. I don't know what the sound quality is going to be like. What I may do is upload that separately completely, because I don't really know what kind of sound quality it's going to be like on here. It may be a bit echoey because I've got it on the computer behind me, or behind you, behind this screen. So I've had, every so often I get a little bit of sciatica. I spend a lot of time digging, not necessarily digging, but yeah, I've had some very large parsnips this year, so getting them out of the ground has been quite difficult. So there's been a lot of yanking and bending over. So my sciatica has been a little bit sore. So I literally just place it onto my, so we've got 4 cheeks, haven't we? We can smile with all 4 cheeks to change our posture. Anyway, I put it on my right hand bum cheek and on the actual pain where the nerve is, and it is literally within 2 seconds the pain is gone. Same with lower back pain, just pretty much instantly goes. Now, of course, these are neodymium, there's different ways of which people pronounce it, 40 magnets. Now, these are very powerful. If you were made from ferrous metal or from metal, it would pick up a person and a half in weight. Pardon me. So extremely powerful. You wouldn't want to go anywhere near this if you had a pacemaker, if you had like titanium's fine in the body, metal, anything that's magnetic, that's in the body, you wouldn't want it near there at all. Also, massive warning, do not operate any machinery with anything like this, purely because its healing is so incredible, and it can make me quite spinny, and if it does, then I feel a bit swoony, and I take it away from me. So applying common sense, if something doesn't make you feel good, then get rid of it. Makes for a much jollier life, I must say. So so I've used this on my feet. Tony's used it on, he had plantar fasciitis. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. So he's been using it for that, and then stretches, etc., pulling the toes down, not pulling them up, and stretching the calf. But apparently it's, yeah, it can do more damage apparently. But anyway, so this is really good for sleep. And in my opinion, and what I understand from things like fibromyalgia, a lot of the issues stem from not having decent sleep, or from that kind of real true relaxation. I think there's kind of an alertness to any noise, to anything, and so deep sleep is not, you don't have deep sleep if you've got fibromyalgia, which I think, in my opinion, is an issue to helping you fix your body, because our bodies are very good at it. It's how they were created, in my opinion. Anyway, so things, what could be treated? So back pain, so anything bone related, broken bones, absolutely fantastic at healing bones faster. Another thing that does, that most people wouldn't have anyway, is didgeridoo. I do circular breathing with my didgeridoo, but that fixes or knits bones as well. And there's other things that are really good that, in food, that have got these knitting qualities within the food. Plantain, and I know that plantain actually helps the hormones in the soil as well. So if you've got plantain in your garden, don't chuck it out. There's the long thinned leafed version, and there's a nice big fat version. And they have some nice little stalks of seeds that you can put in your food. Anyway, very good stuff. But in terms of fixing bones, this is really good. And what it does is it magnetizes. It takes. I'm not sure I understand it completely, so I'm not going to pretend I do. But it has amazing effects, and people that have used this have noted incredible effects on the body. Now I've used it, so it's more of an intuitive thing. So if there is a bit of pain, then I place it physically directly, this side, onto the pain. So all these magnets are all pointing to one point. There is a hole in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. I'm sticking my finger trying to. It's quite small. So you wouldn't want to put this too near your phone. I think iPhones seem to be okay, but there's tons of other phones out these days, but it could damage the speakers. So just be careful on that front as well. A way in which to stop it magnetizing, jam jar lid, very effective way of stopping it is just literally popping a jam jar lid on there, and it just straight onto it, and that would stop it being magnetized. So if you wanted to travel with it, etc., then that would be a really good idea. Other things to note. So yeah, so when I'm using it, say for example, I had a bit of pain in my hip, so I physically placed it. So if I, no, I can't show you. Okay, so if I placed it here on my shoulder, so I'd actually popped it on my hip, and instantly I felt this pain in the back of my shoulder, which was quite sore. So I thought, well, I'll just move it up to the shoulder. Now apparently your hips and your shoulders are connected. Everything's connected some way, shape or form. But yeah, so I popped it on there, And I think within a minute or two, I was fast asleep. So if you want a good productive day, not necessarily conducive to a really productive day, because when you heal and your body wants to just shut down and do what it's, you know, what it's very good at, sometimes your body just wants to rest. So I fell asleep for a couple of hours with this just on my back. Now, people are using it for incredible sleep, which is fantastic, and it's changing their sleep cycle so that they're not getting up in the middle of the night for to go to the loo or anything. So it's making a difference there. So muscle strains, bone issues, and now there's no research gone onto this, but a friend who borrowed it, her friend Ali, she had signs or kind of she was basically having some symptoms of maybe early set dementia. So she noticed a huge difference with her brain fog, and I think with what's happening with the earth, the atmosphere, etc., it's I think a lot of people are getting a bit of brain fog these days. So oops, not a good idea to throw it everywhere. Where's it gone? There it is. So fibromyalgia, back pain, bone pain, muscle pain, we're not sure as to all the healing benefits from this. There was the chap who had the dog and it had this tumour throughout this whole, I don't know if it was intestines or it basically couldn't go to the loo anymore. So this chap took this dog to the vet and the vet wanted to put it down immediately. And he said, I wasn't ready for that. I'm just going to take him home and try something. So he took him home and put him next to one of these. And I think it was a couple of months later, the dog is absolutely fine. So I'm not saying it is good for those sort of things. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't know. But from his story, and he was very, he was very passionate about it because it had changed his life. He kept his dog. And we all know that dogs are such lovely creatures. I think they're sent to earth to cheer everybody up, actually. Because they've always got a tail wagging, haven't they, generally, if they can. So this is, we're calling it a PrimerCube because it's the puck, the bowl, and then we insert these 40 magnets. But all the schematics are free. If you've got a 3D printer, then you can go online to PrimerCube.com, get the schematics and the all the information and print a puck yourself. It takes us a couple of days to print one because we've got to do it very slowly because the bottom part, I don't know if you can see, yes, there's a little dent in this one, and that may affect it if it's spinning at 3,350 RPM, things like that. So we make ours very slowly, pardon me, so that we don't get that. But yeah, so we have ordered a motor and a controller and I don't know, some kind of electric board for it to run it. So it's still in investigations. It's very early days, but I'm really shocked at actually how much effect this is having to people's lives thus far. So I'm desperate to try it out with somebody that's got fibromyalgia because that's one of the things that it says issues treated, fibromyalgia. In fact, I wouldn't mind actually going to the testimonial from my friend just to play that to you. Just a moment. There we go. It's about 12 minutes long, and I hope the sound is good.
Hello, Rachel Russell here. I'm just here with Gail, and we're just going through dates in terms of, so this is with regards to the PrimerCube, which is the 40 magnets in a little bowl. So there's no additional attachments, nothing else with this, except just the puck itself. So we're just clarifying dates as to when everything happened, and it was right at the beginning of September. We had one puck, and we lent it to Gail and her friend Ali, and so they've been testing it out initially until you decided that you wanted one each.
We did.
So
We did.
So can you
Yes. So
can you just
I can.
yeah, thank
So
you. Gail.
Tuesday the 5th of September, I just put to you morning feedback. Puck. Definitely a real pulling and healing going on with the puck next to me. I put it on my locker, bowl side up, and then at 4 a.m. I put it the other side next to me in bed. I hope I did right. Tomorrow I'll put it under my work bed whilst I'm working. I thought that video was good and sounded a cheap way to get rotation. Yes.
Oh yes.
Remember, we did that, didn't we?
Mm.
So then,
And that was early September.
that was early September. Yeah, and then we've got the puck next to me with a crystal in it. Going to feel that magnetic field pulling me about. I have a grounding mat as well, but the crystal that was in it was a calcite, wasn't it? Orange calcite for bones.
Interesting.
And I just put 6th of September morning. Wow, what a weird night. I started with the puck at the bottom of the bed under the covers. Only lasted an hour, as I felt like the bed was constantly moving. The pull was very significant and I felt out of control. I will put it back under tonight. I obviously like a challenge. I then put it on the locker next to me with the crystal inside. I had quite a healing going on. My poor damaged thumbs and arms from years of massage, my tummy, chest area reacted by feeling very hot, a weird sizzly hot. My big toe was throbbing. This was damaged by the dentist's anaesthetic recently. My head and ears are hot again, but not as hot as yesterday. So all in all, a massive reaction. Thank you so much. So that was what I put, and then we need Ali, don't we, to put what she did. I actually put then, the puck is truly amazing, and I'm feeling it straighten my old bones, standing taller and more relaxed within. I do have some scoliosis due to the MS, but definitely a shift is taking place. I don't want to hog it, because obviously this was at a time when we borrowed yours and we didn't have our own.
Yeah.
Please feel free to take it back, but you will have a fight on your hands. I want Ali to try it. So then we talked about a diary for everybody, didn't we?
Yes.
We thought that was a good idea, and I do think so now. Having to scroll back through here, I wish I'd written it all down.
Yes.
So Ali usually sleeps normally.
So it was, I think you used it, so
It-
you had it one night and then...
Yeah, I had it 2 nights, then I let her have it.
Yes.
So the confusion bit, not knowing where she was and having to check all her limbs, is interesting, as I've been worried about her memory and whether she's firing on all cylinders, as certain things she's said, done over the last year have unsettled me. There's a slow connection often. Very interesting from a deep neurological element. I actually missed it last night. That was my feeling. I was jangling and I had to take some GABA. Do you know what GABA is?
Yes, that too. Yeah.
To calm my nervous system down, which is where my MS kicks in. I had a small amount of gluten yesterday, so that triggers my jangling as well. Then you told me about your ulcers.
So
okay.
Just going back, so Ali had was it some memory issues?
Yes, she did.
Is that-
Yeah.
If I bring this up here, Ali,
I've got a really good.
I'm just recording here.
Ooh, words. Well, it's what I wrote down at the time.
Amazing. Okay.
Just what I scribbled down, because Gail said
you needed to know what was what, and I thought, if I don't write it down, you don't remember everything, and you're just trying to.
Yeah.
So I mean I put it under the bed at the bottom.
Yes.
Because that was the only place I could get it, because my bed's quite low to the floor, except at the bottom, which has got a notch, so I can shove it under.
Perfect.
I said very strange sensations. Head and body were tingling. I felt very lightheaded. I had very fidgety legs, but that's not unusual for me. My body was uncomfortable, but it was peaceful. I was conscious of being very hot. Woke up with a stiff neck. I slept well. I had a good sleep. And then I had to get up for a wee about 5:30, and I didn't know where I was. I had to haul myself out of bed, and I remember thinking, and I don't know why, I just thought, I better check if everything's working.
All your limbs?
All my limbs. I don't know why I felt that. It was a hard sleep, and I do remember thinking, wow, what's going on here? And then I thought, oh yeah, I've got that thing under my bed.
So you remembered?
Yeah, then I remembered I'd got the thing, I'd got the puck under my bed, and I just thought, yeah, it's just whatever that's doing to me is what.
Yeah.
It's
your
what.
major reaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you've never got up and just checked your limbs before?
No.
No. I think I have.
No. I just remember sitting on the side of the bed and I think, okay, what's working? I don't know why.
A bit like when you have a crash.
Yes.
Or something, and you've got to make sure that everything's.
Or you've fallen and you're thinking, right, what have I hurt?
Yeah.
And definitely your memory is a lot better, isn't it? You're not as brain fogged as you were.
No,
you're
probably not overall. No,
you're not.
Overall.
And your mood is better.
Well, you can.
Yeah,
you're the judge of that, aren't you?
I've noticed it.
You're the judge of that.
And of course, now we have our own. I'm sleeping much better. I mean, I actually put it in the cupboard the other day for 3 days on purpose to see whether or not. And I was awake in the night for 2 or 3 hours again.
Really?
I got it back out again and I've slept all night.
Yeah.
So it is the puck that helps my sleep.
So do you go to the loo often through the night then?
No, not really. No. Usually quite sort of early in the morning. I sort of usually wake up about 6:30, something like that, and that's when I probably get up and go to the loo.
Yeah.
But during the night, no. Very, very rare.
And do you
No,
normally
I don't.
No.
Very rare. Very rare. I ever have.
And are you going to the loo at all now with the pup?
No,
Not at
never
all.
get up.
Never get up.
I need whatever water I've got in me. I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you find that?
Just to stay hydrated. I never go to the toilet through the night generally.
No, and I'm 66
But I know
now,
some
so
people that do, and I think it might actually help with that because it really aids in the sleeping.
Yeah.
And that is our repair time as well, isn't it?
It is.
And if we don't get that sleep, then we don't really get that deep healing.
Yeah.
And then another thing that we were just mentioning was where you place the puck. Sometimes your body then has it's really sore. So it happened for me yesterday. I placed it on my pelvis. Is it pelvis? Pelvic?
Yeah.
And I immediately got a bit of a pain in the back of my shoulder, or my shoulder blade.
And can I explain that to you?
Oh, is it? Yes. Now it's connected.
Hip and shoulder go together.
Right.
So you can ask any consultant that repairs hips or replaces hips.
But it's
A lot of people that have hip, shoulder problems, it's all to do with their hip. Hip and shoulder go together.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I put the puck underneath my shoulder blade yesterday evening, and I fell asleep pretty much instantly.
Wow.
But the pain, as soon as I put it there, the pain just vanished.
Amazing, isn't it?
And I put it on my sciatica, because every so often I get sciatica issues.
Yeah.
And I literally just placed it on my bum cheek, and you can feel it going down, can't you? Sometimes when you
that's where the sciatic nerve goes.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating, but the curvature of your spine. So was it the MS that caused that then initially?
Yeah, it's a lot of damage over the years with MS. Yeah. I had a bad attack 6 years ago.
Right.
Which really did. knacker me for quite a couple of years. But I'm straightening now, getting better.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Getting
exciting,
better.
isn't it? But they're small incremental things, I think. But I suppose in the bigger picture, they make such a big change to your life.
Of course they
That's
do.
what-
There's nothing
Wow.
worse than pain for dragging you down and taking all your energy. So,
Yeah.
you know, if you can unblock your pain, oh, you're naughty boy.
We've got dogs here, and they're taking things apart. Destroying things. Oh dear. Never mind. But yes, no, it's a very exciting journey, because we're just still doing the preliminary investigations, and because they're all pointing to one point, because a lot of these are they're sold in big boxes where it spins, which is fantastic. But when it's actually physically applied directly to where you need it, it has a tremendous result. Yeah,
Amazing.
but yeah,
Thank you so much for introducing us to it, because you know, we do know the magnetic force is so important, isn't it, for
Well,
writing us. you know.
Now, I do want to ask you a question actually that you might or might not know the answer to. If you're actually using the puck, do you think there would be a difference if the person is grounded as to not grounded?
Yes.
You do. Do you think it has more of a beneficial effect when somebody's grounded and they can release?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you.
You.
I do.
I do
Yeah,
too.
that makes sense logically to me,
Yeah.
because, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, ladies.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Very
You
exciting.
know, I mean, I'm interested in the spinning thing. You
Yes,
know,
as
whether or
well.
not that's even more beneficial or not.
Yeah.
But as you say, with what you've designed, you can put it on. I shall put it on this shoulder that's bothering me. I should just stick it on there tonight while I'm reading my book and see what happens. You know.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. And then your body might tell you that it needs it in
Yes.
some other place.
right down
Yeah.
when I did the
on your
hedging, down here.
Hippity doo dah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
So, I hope that was okay. I hope the sound quality wasn't too bad. But in terms of with it spinning, we're still finding amazing results even without it being spun. So these are for sale in Poland, starting at around £1,500. Fantastic things. We're going to sell them much cheaper because we haven't got the motor and things like that. But it's just, I like the handiness of it. And actually, when we build it with a motor, my requirements have already been stated. That I'd like to have it so that I can just take it off the machine and then use it wherever I like on my body, so that it can just be physically attached or close, rather than underneath the bed or something like that. It is interesting also, and I'd forgotten this, that females seem to, if you're aware of energy, if you can feel energy, if you're susceptible to things, then you may feel quite dizzy, quite swoony. So a girl yesterday reported that she could feel buzzing, as if there was a phone vibrating right next to her, and there wasn't. And then, so I took it away from her, and she was feeling quite dizzy. And I've had that before as well, and it's not very nice. But I think once you're actually asleep, maybe you don't notice that, which is why the sleep is then so prominent. But obviously still preliminary investigations. But it's just, I'm super chuffed. I love it when you can find something that works, and works instantly. Colloidal silver is a bit like that for us, or for me. And then blood cleansing is a separate thing, but that is more kind of incremental changes through time. But it's definitely after a couple of weeks of using blood cleansing, I noticed a big difference in energy. It depends on your starting point as well. You know, if you're ill in bed, and you want to get out of bed within the next 4 or 5 days, you'd use an ozonated with your blood cleanser. I would recommend. So some people want it at their head. personally, that frightens me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't like the spinny, although it is good to be to get dizzy, because actually that's how you cure dyslexia and lucid dreaming and all that. That's another story. But having it at my feet feels logical to me. Although my friends, they would like to try it at their head. So this is essentially really for research purposes only at this stage, because we're not entirely sure. So yes, it has helped a dog with a tumour. I suppose we are similar to dogs. We're all animals, aren't we? And then it's helping with our friend with dementia, which is mind-blowing. It's helping with sciatica, back pain. It helps with shingles. It helps with elbow. Oh, arthritis is another. What else? So bone, muscle, tissue. Yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, magnets can be dangerous. Just like anything, if you run into the sea, expect to, treat the sea with care, with respect. So that goes for anything natural. Don't abuse it. Use it wisely and feel into it. And when I say grounding, you can get these sheets that actually you plug in, and it's not an electrical thing. It is literally a grounding thing. It's because, especially in the UK where we are here, there are 3 prongs to a plug, and one of them will be an earth, and the earth basically has it's earthed basically. But yeah, you can get grounding sheets in your bed if you wanted to use it potentially when you're sleeping. We will be supplying these with a stand as well, so that it will clip into it or slide into it. I'm not quite sure exactly, but so that you can play without having to hold it. You can't really hold it throughout the whole night, can you? So we are going to supply some kind of a stand for these so that you could use them. They're quite chunky. We can't weigh them because everything that we've got to weigh, even one of those where you put the weights on, it's metal. Ours is, so it's then again magnetic. So we can't actually figure out how heavy this is, but it's maybe half a kilo, maybe a little bit more. Anyway, so treat it with respect. Yeah, amazing though. Like seriously amazing, which is why I wanted to make a little quick video. But please do get in touch if you think, you might benefit from this. I think we're going to sell them initially for £200. Takes a couple of days to make the actual puck, and then get the magnets inserted. They're not easy to put in, these magnets, and they're very powerful. So yeah, but I hope I haven't scared everybody, because it's very important for me to give away any warnings about these kind of things, because I just love to help as many people as possible, and it's horrible when you've got really bad backache or something, and you just lie down and you can't get any comfort, and sometimes the only place for it is a bath with some magnesium in it, or Epsom salts or something, but now ooh la la. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, it's such a joy to be pain-free. Do you know my maiden name was Pain, P-A-Y-N-E. So yeah, I used to say that it took 35 years to get rid of my pain. So and there's another way. Anyway, many thanks everyone. But yeah, I'll put details below the video in order to email me or something, and just say interested in Puck or something. But yeah, many thanks all. Bye bye.